Hello, and welcome to Campus to Community, the Columbia Basin College news magazine to keep you informed of what's happening at CBC and how we might better serve you at CBC. Now, coming up today, an exciting show for you. We're going to hear all about the Mid-Columbia Literary Festival, which starts this month and continues all the way through June. There's a heck of a lineup. Also, we're going to hear about the Columbia Basin College Apprenticeship Program that a lot of people go through, but not a lot of the Tri-Cities knows about. We'll be talking with Dean Derek Brandis on that. But first, we're going to hear from our All-USA Academic All-Stars for 2011 and 2012. And this year they are Madison, Belmont, and Saleh Jaber, and they're with us here today. First, let's start with you, Madison. And Madison is a Running Start student. She has a magnificent GPA of 3.99. Her major is social work. And Madison, first of all, as a Running Start student, that's a program where you go into either as a junior or senior in high school and take college credit simultaneously with your high school classes. How did you happen to get into Running Start?
Well, I just started hearing about it at my high school and from different friends and stuff, and I just decided it was the right program for me because it got the college credits done and out of the way for the first 2 years, and it was at a really good price.
So you're going to graduate from high school and Columbia Basin College in June then, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your major in social work, because it has a lot to do with social justice, which you have a passion for, correct?
Mm-hmm. I'm deciding right now, I believe, to do social work because I really like working with people and making a difference in their lives, and that started kind of from my passion in the human trafficking sort of deal, where I started reading articles and hearing about it and reading stuff on the internet, and it's just a huge phenomenon going on around the world. There's just thousands and millions of people that are being trafficked for different reasons, and specifically I really want to help the women and the girls that are in sexual human trafficking, and so that's just kind of
fantastic.
Passion I found.
Yeah, so where will you be going after CBC?
I plan to go to a college, either Eastern or Whitworth is what I believe.
Okay. Well, we look forward to having you at commencement this year at CBC. Saleh, let's go to you. And you come to us. Saleh is a bioengineering major. He has a 3.88 GPA and comes to us all the way from Palestine. How did you happen to make your way to Columbia Basin College?
Well, when I was in Palestine, I knew that most colleges there don't offer as much program as the United States, so I decided to come here. And I knew nothing about the United States until I got here. And I decided to come to the Tri-Cities since my uncle lived here. I figured out he can show me around while I'm here. And CBC was the most convenient thing. It was close to home, or close to where I lived, and it was cheap.
Okay. We're lucky to have you. Tell us a little bit about your academic area of interest and what do you want to do with it?
Well, I'm majoring in bioengineering, and what is basically combining technology with medicine. So like artificial arms or heart pacers, I'll be designing and fixing those things. And hopefully I will, after getting my degree in bioengineering, I'm hoping in going to medical school, but bioengineering is kind of my plan B, just in case that I wasn't able to go to a medical school.
Fantastic. How has CBC helped you to start reaching your goals?
Well, CBC offers a lot of science classes, and one thing about CBC that is not offered in other community colleges is the research programs that they have. They have a lot of chemistry and biology research classes that helped me to get an idea of what I'll be doing once I get my bioengineering degree.
Fantastic. So we look for you at the University of Washington next year, and you at Whitworth or Eastern, and Madison and Saleh. Best of luck to both of you. They're going to be at the state ceremony for the All-USA candidates. That's on March 22nd in Olympia. Receive $750 scholarship. Their picture taken with President Cummins and the Governor of the state of Washington. Both of you, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Coming up, we're going to learn about apprenticeship programs at Columbia Basin College and how you might get involved after this. Welcome back. And we're here with Derek Brandis, who is the Dean for Career and Technical Education at Columbia Basin College. Welcome, Derek.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about apprenticeships, and you've got quite a number of students in apprenticeship programs, and a lot of people really aren't aware of what they are and what is offered through the CBC partnerships. Tell us about it.
Yeah, apprenticeships are a great way where students can work and learn at the same time. And so students get a job through one of the 8 apprenticeship programs that are affiliated with CBC, from carpentry to electricians to plumbers and pipe fitters to millwrights to sheet metal workers. And they do on-the-job training and some related instruction. And as they progress through their program, their pay rate goes up over the course of each year. And most of our programs are 4 to 5 years in length.
Wow. And now, do I understand this right? Can they actually get a degree through the apprenticeship?
They can. At CBC, we have a multi-occupational degree where the student completes their apprenticeship program and then takes 4 general education classes and 1 elective class, and they get their 2-year degree. And then, if they choose to, they could go into our applied baccalaureate program. So it's a great new path for apprenticeship students.
There's a lot of students in our apprenticeship programs, aren't there? It seems to be increasing.
It is increasing. Any year, any given year, we could have between 200 and 300 students in apprenticeship.
So how do people get involved in the apprenticeship program, Derek?
The best way is to contact the apprenticeship program directly. If you go to the CBC homepage and do a /apprenticeship, it'll pull up a listing of how to contact each apprenticeship program.
Fantastic. Derek, thanks for joining us
Thank
here
you.
on Campus 2 Community. Now, when we come back, we're going to hear all about the Mid-Columbia Literary Festival. And this year, as big as it's been in the past, it's even bigger this year. Right after this. What's become a huge event at Columbia Basin College through the winter and spring each year for the last 6 or 7 years has been the Mid-Columbia Literary Festival, and this year it's going to be even quite a bit better. Now, with us today are the Dean of Arts and Humanities, Bill McKay, and English Professor Gwen James, and both of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Bill, this literary festival has been going on for a lot of years, but it just got big in the last number of years. How did that take part?
Well, sure. There's quite a history, actually. There has always been a writing competition at CBC for as long as I can remember. And in conjunction with that writing competition, we would bring in a noted author as part of the final award ceremonies. In 2005, the Mid-Columbia Library Foundation contacted me via a gentleman named Ed Frost, who's still a part of our committee. They had a desire to partner with us, actually, to begin bringing in a noted author. So really in 2005, through that initial event, the Mid-Columbia Literary Festival, or as LitFest as we call it, began. It started by bringing in Sherman Alexie that particular year, and has grown a great deal since then, both in terms of partners and funding. The Mid-Columbia Library Foundation is no longer a part of the organization in terms of the funding, but things have continued to evolve, and as you said, it's gotten larger and larger.
And what has your reaction been to the audiences? Because the community involvement has been pretty big as far as the attendance.
Yeah, it really has. Going back to that Sherman Alexie event, we had well over 600 people, and throughout various different authors that have come in now over the years, we continue to match those kinds of numbers. There's obviously significant community support out there, both as individuals and through corporate sponsors and private sponsors as well. And I'd like to also add that along with the grants that Gwen will talk about soon, that we've received support this year from the Richland Public Library Foundation and a 3-year commitment from that group.
Let's move over to Gwen now. And Gwen, you're very heavily involved, had been for several years now. How did you happen to get involved with LitFest?
Well, I was fortunate to get involved with LitFest because Bill asked me in, I think it was 2004, to become the coordinator of the writing competition. And it just so happened that the next year was the year that we were able to partner with Mid-Columbia Library Foundation, and the festival has grown ever since then. And so that's been my role, is to help Bill out as much as I can with making first contacts with writers, more recently with grant writing, which has been a really great opportunity.
And received a grant this year, right?
Yes, this is the second year we've received funding from the National Endowment for the Arts, and the second year also that we have received funding from Humanities Washington.
Tell us a little bit about this year's lineup.
We have many, many events lined up this year, but the two big highlights of this year's festival are Augustin Burroughs and Garth Stein. Garth Stein is the author of The Art of Racing in the Rain. It's a wonderful book, very funny, charming, a little bit sad, and poignant, written from the perspective of a dog. Wow. And Augustin Burroughs is probably best known for his book, a memoir called Running with Scissors, which has also been made into a feature film. Very funny, very frank, interesting look at growing up in an extremely dysfunctional household.
As well as these presentations, other parts still remain, and that's actually people getting themselves involved, particularly at the high school and college level. You talked about the writing competition, and you have one other one too.
Yes, we have the regional finals for Poetry Out Loud, which is a national competition sponsored by the Poetry Foundation and the National Endowment for the Arts. We have 5 schools competing this year who will each send 2 students to CBC on February 15th to try out their skills in a poetry recitation contest, and we will send 1 winner to the state competition in Olympia in April.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, one more thing before we go, and that is the kickoff event.
Yes, it is actually an event that's called About the Book, that's held at Bookwalter Winery, sponsored by them, and coming up very soon.
Okay, well, both of you, thank you. Another successful LitFest coming up.
Thanks.
Thanks.
And thanks for joining us on Campus to Community.